Well, I took the job at Lake County with Mark Curran because of the high recommendations that I heard from other elected officials. I knew how he stood, his values, his family values from just the political arena, and I thought this is the kind of guy that I want to work for. The way that government budget works outside of the private sector, you're given a budget, and usually it's a maintenance budget. So you get that budget every year, and if you don't spend in a certain area, then they will reduce that in the next year. So it is typical that department heads and other elected officials will make sure that they spend their budget so that they have the same amount of money the following year. Sheriff Curran did not follow that line of thought. He was more in tune to what the department was going to need, and at the end of the day, if he didn't spend his budget, then he handed it back and had no problems doing that. He would walk into the budget meetings very confident on what he was presenting to the county board. This is the money that we need to run our department next year. And because of his track record of coming under budget every year that he was sheriff, they all respected and trusted his budget presentation, and they knew that Mark would do everything that he could to come in under budget and be fiscally responsible with their taxpayer dollars. Staff would bring suggestions to us, and they were very comfortable going to Mark with their suggestions because he had an open door policy. Anybody could go in there and say, hey, I have this idea on how to save money, and Mark would follow through on that. Most of them were very good. Most of them we could implement. If we couldn't, it was still, hey, come and talk to us about what changes we can make to save money. And that's really how he came under budget.
We are the premier sheriff's office in the country. I believe there's an argument that we're already that. We're already right there amongst the very best.
Everybody knew how important it was to make sure that we serve the community, and yet we're responsible with their dollars.
I do answer to the voters, and I do that by running an office with integrity and keeping them safe. I mean, you know, my paramount is always God, and I want to hear those words, as does everybody. Well done, my good and faithful servant.
Mark Curran sets the bar for what it means to be a civil servant.
I'm Mark Curran, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Friends of Mark Curran.